Welcome to another Surf Companions podcast. I'm here with Julia and looking forward because we're going to talk about cool stuff. Who are you, Julia, for the audience?
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Daniel. My name is Julia. I'm from Germany and I'm part of the Surf Companions ambassador team.
Yeah, super stoked to have a podcast with you because like every podcast we talk about certain topics. Like you see, I have no list. It's going to be like a normal conversation and we talk about surfing and everything. So I think let's dive right into it. I ask all the ambassadors and all the podcast guests, like, what does surfing mean to you?
That is a really good question. I wish I'd come more prepared.
That's why I ask it.
Because you're putting me on the spot now. What does surfing mean to you? Well, for me, it's kind of like what makes life well-rounded for me at the moment. I just feel like it brings me so much joy and happiness, and it's kind of giving almost a purpose to my everyday life.
Cool. So you take surfing actually to your daily life.
Definitely, yeah.
Cool. So you take the joy, or is there more than joy you can take into your private life or daily life?
Well, I think it's just nice to have a routine with surfing, which sounds kind of contradicting, I think, because there's absolutely no habit, like no repetition when it comes to surfing, obviously. But I think with surfing, it's just great because you kind of have a reason to get up, get out into nature, and you also have a purpose to like come spend as much time as possible by the ocean, which is what I love to do anyway before I started surfing. But now it just has more of a purpose and a guidance, I think.
Cool. And how like an average, how much time you can surf in a week, like an average?
If the waves are good, I definitely try to go, say the waves are good 7 days out of the week. I probably go 6 days out of the week.
Sweet.
So yeah, I try to go whenever it's good. I try to get out there.
Lucky Julia can almost surf. Yeah, like obviously I can also surf every day because we live on the coast, but the swell has to be there, obviously. Okay, that was my only question. Bye. No, I'm just kidding, obviously. But more about you, Julia. Like we had in a previous conversation about like you live in Portugal right now, true?
Yeah, I'm based in Lisbon.
Yeah, and guide us through your year. What does a perfect year look like for Julia? Like traveling wise. I mean, obviously, you're obviously an influencer, right?
Yeah.
Do you call yourself an influencer?
I don't like to say it because I think it has a negative connotation with it and a bad stigma nowadays.
Is there a cooler name for it?
Well, I think everyone now says content creator. What I always say when people ask me that I don't know what I do is I say I work in social media or I work in media, and then mostly they stop asking questions, which is good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I feel like it's like if you tell someone you're a lawyer or you're, I don't know, in finance, people stop asking questions. So if you just say, I'm in media.
Oh, wait a second. Robin, come here. Hey, Robin. It's only the neighbor.
Dog drama.
Drama queen here. Every time the dogs come out. They have a big pit bull.
Oh, yeah.
It looks scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also had the feeling I made a funny reel of Surf Companions about I made fun of influencers.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I don't know. I also felt a bit weird about doing it, but I thought like, why not? Because I saw a girl, I don't know the name, but like doing stuff for content. I thought like, why is it getting so many views? It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like I was a bit frustrated. I was like, that says nothing about like, I'm gonna wear this today, and that was the whole reel, and I was like, fascinating. But I totally understand you. It's like, because even as influencers, it's like a big word. Or my question to you, if we are already in the topic, what do you think changed the most? Like when you say like influencer, calling someone influencer is already a bit of a negative stigma.
Well, I think I've been in the industry for a really long time. I've been doing it for 8 years. So I started 8 years ago when I came fresh out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I started was just to share my travels. That was like the only reason. And to be completely honest, it was also to make an income because I wanted to travel throughout the year. And before I was doing like waitressing jobs in between at home to make enough money to be able to travel.
Cool.
And then the goal was just to be able to make money on the road to afford travels. So that's kind of what I started. I think now people get into it obviously because of the lifestyle. And I think that to a lot of people seems like a very negative thing to get into something because of the lifestyle. But also I think
Lifestyle, you mean like they can travel, they get stuff for free or whatever,
exactly.
or people invite them.
Yeah,
okay,
and the numbers of followers matter to a lot of people. That's what like the general ideas, I think, from people that like what influencers are like, that we just wake up and like look at our phone, like how many followers do I have today, and I don't know.
Are you still doing that?
No, obviously not. I don't know. I don't think anyone would do that, but I think that's what people think that we do. You know, we wake up and we just look how many followers we have, and I think it just it seems like a very shallow industry to a lot of people, which I think it can be, but also I think you can't generalize it that much because everybody's obviously different, and it is a full-on industry, and there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes than what you see online. So there's a lot that comes with it.
Yeah, even as a business owner, I see it a lot. Like there's so much work behind it, but it's really important what kind of message you want to bring out. So you started actually being an influencer after high school with the purpose to travel and to share the travel. So your mission was also, look guys, look at those beautiful places and possibilities to do stuff, and so that was your main purpose, right? Yeah, cool. And to create an income.
Yes.
But what do you think changed the most? Is there something you can point out? Is it more, maybe there's more fakeness, maybe there's more, because I have the feeling it starts to going more into realness again. So definitely. To being really authentic. Like a CEO or something on a TikTok, he goes totally nuts because he just shows his daily life. Look, I drank a coffee, now I have to answer emails and so on. It's like, so suddenly it switched a bit. I have the feeling, but I'm obviously not an influencer.
No, I
have a
agree
business.
With you. But I think it's very true. I think we went from a few years ago, I can't remember what year it was, when the style of Instagram was really popular, where everything looked super polished and everyone was just showing like a highlight reel of their lives. Whereas I think now we're going back to more real and raw content, and people just try to be as relatable as possible, and also show like the downsides. And I actually think you're totally right with that it's becoming more relatable again now. Yeah.
But do you think in this time we live in, especially with TikTok, and I think almost everyone can be famous kind of with a smartphone nowadays, if you communicate it right, or you make a special, if you be really funny or whatever. I had the feeling back in times it took way more time and effort to be, let's say, famous or getting more followers or being famous, instead of now we live in a time where, I don't know, you can go totally crazy on TikTok, like really quick, like go viral, and suddenly you're
TikTok
like
is
famous.
Crazy. Yeah.
But on Instagram, do you still like Instagram? Like, do you like it still?
I think I actually realized this. I use Instagram and TikTok for two completely different purposes. Like for me, Instagram now is what I use to see what my friends are up to.
Cool.
I use it more as like a socializing with friends online, but just to like keep up with your friends, like see where everyone's traveling, like more like that, like more on a personal level.
Cool.
Whereas TikTok is more where I just go for entertainment, I would say. And then also on Instagram, I actually also use it to get inspiration in terms of like fashion inspiration or travel inspiration.
True.
Whereas I think TikTok is purely entertainment.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. But are you on TikTok?
I am. I recently started. I was like off TikTok for like a year. And then recently I started to post a little bit again. Yeah.
I also started just for fun, like those small little knowledge things about surfing, and suddenly a surf coach in South France, like I just passed by him. Usually he's a really serious guy. And suddenly he says like, funny TikToks. It's like, what?
That's cool. Good. Yeah, that means you have good reach.
It's funny. Yeah. I mean, this whole world is a digital world, but obviously we are together here in real. What is your, let's say, I mean, obviously you surf a lot, but you also have, since last year, I think, own retreats, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. What do you get most out of, like, okay, other question. Do you rather want to have real connection with real people, or you rather say like, man, it's actually easier to have this digital life?
Well, I think definitely real connections.
Okay, cool.
For sure, yeah. Like I value my friends in real life and my real life connections.
Cool.
A lot, so
yeah,
definitely.
Cool.
Although also I've met so many amazing people through social media, so it is actually an amazing tool to meet people. And also with the retreats, obviously, like the reach I have from social media is where I find my participants that come to my retreats, and they're amazing girls, and so it is such a good tool to meet people.
Yeah, absolutely. Business-wise, is obviously handy to have. Yeah. And I saw you on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you edit everything yourself, or you have a whole team behind you?
No, I used to have someone editing my videos for me, but now I do it myself because I actually really enjoy it. I like doing it by myself.
Yeah, cool. What kind of program you use?
Premiere Pro.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah. I switched to DaVinci Resolve.
I've never heard of that.
It's really cool with color grading. Really nice. Yeah.
I'll have to look into it.
And it's for free.
Nice.
It doesn't matter. Okay, back to all those editors who are following us and watching us. No, like we said, like what makes you happy about surfing? What's your purpose? And do you have, for all the learning surfers, this whole surf campaign is about improving your surfing. What made you actually like reach out to us and say like, cool, I like this kind of ambassador thingy? Was there one thing or more things, or were you just for like, oh, cool?
I've actually never seen, or I've never heard of anything like it, like an actual physical book. That's kind of like where I found you guys. So that's kind of like what intrigued me, and which is why I reached out to you, because in connection with my retreats, I thought it would be such a good tool to help the girls, especially like if you're just starting off and you have no idea how to surf. It's like the perfect introduction to get before your travels or before you go anywhere, just to kind of like read into it. But instead of just reading an article or just reading a paragraph, it's like the visuals are really nice to connect with the words. So I just thought it would be a really good tool for the girls from the retreat to have. So that's how it started.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really lucky that we have so many different people in our ambassador team. They're so unique, and that's why I'm really proud of everyone we have, because because of this, I want to keep it authentic, like everything we do, and real, because me myself, when I started surfing, I almost died in New Zealand. Yeah, because I knew nothing, not even head protection, nothing. A friend of mine just gave me a board and said, yeah, go in. And I was like, okay, why not? And I never felt a wipeout. I never felt how big a wave can be. It was double overhead. I didn't know. And I got smashed, and it was horrible. I was bleeding. I was even unconscious for a moment.
No.
Totally panicking. And I went out, and there was this guy, like, beautifully taking off like Adonis. And then I thought, it cannot be that I die next to him and this guy is just like, ooh. And then I thought, I have to learn this. So yeah, what made my way of learning really hard, because obviously I did a lot of sports, also skiing since I've been 4, but surfing is so difficult. Yeah. And I always missed a book like this. I missed to know the steps, because obviously I bought every surf book there's available, every knowledge I crave for it. But there was never a step-by-step experience. Like, what do I have to do? Okay, what actually movements I have to do with my body? And that's why, we met with Flo. Like this year is actually our 5th year. And I saw him drawing. I was like, Flo, let's do a book. And he was like, oh, it would be nice. And I was like, yeah, let's do a book. I never thought that it's going to be like big like this. Or even ambassadors want to join us and even retreats in September. So it makes me also really happy that people use it for their own retreats and for themselves, and the feedback we get is really amazing, because it's a unique book. But we don't want to talk more about the book. It's more like obviously about you and your journey. What do you like? That's what I wanted to ask you, because everyone has a little bit of a progress line or a wish or goal. I always ask my students, what's your goal in surfing? Do you have a next surfing goal which you're working on right now, or you wish to have?
Yeah, I mean, I think my ultimate goal is to hang 10, because I mostly longboard. I mean, maybe let's start with hang 5. Cool. I think that's more within reach, maybe in the next whatever.
Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt, guys. For everyone, a hang 5 is when you walk to the nose of your longboard and one of your feet are hanging with 5 toes over the nose. That's why it's called hang 5. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's right now one of the goals, but actually, like, as of now, I think that's like the ultimate goal. Right now I'm working on my turns, like in terms of what I'm actually working on, I'm working on my turns and improving my turns and making them a bit smoother.
Cool.
And also just understanding the wave whilst I'm on the wave, rather than seeing the video afterwards and be like, oh, that's what I should have done. To actually like notice it whilst I'm on the wave. Cool. And be a bit more aware.
And what helps you the most during your progress? Is more like, oh, I'm just trying, or your friends, or you have even coaches nearby?
I think definitely seeing videos. Video analysis is just so helpful once you reach a certain level of surfing. I think once you're in the intermediate level, it's so helpful to actually see what you're doing on a wave, because it feels great in the moment and you think you're ripping, and then you see a video of yourself and you get humbled very quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I definitely think that video is the main tool that helps me. But also, I think talking to people, like asking for advice, asking a friend, or if you know someone who surfs really well and you surf with them and you can feel you did something wrong on that wave, just to approach them like, hey, that last wave, did you see that? I feel like I did something wrong, but I don't know what it was. And then oftentimes they can sort of point you in the right direction.
Cool. So you see already you need kind of a feedback loop somewhere. So it could be a friend, your video, or a coach. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why we developed the retreat, and that's why this is my main goal as a coach, because I feel sometimes sad. I don't know if you know it from your surfer friends or whatever, or even your own experience. I see that a lot of time that once you reach a beginner level, you pass that. So for example, the whitewater. Oh, I can stand up in whitewater, no problem. I catch every wave I want. And then you want to go to the intermediate level, means like you're out there in the line now. Suddenly you stop getting coached.
Yeah.
Everyone stops suddenly. But this is the fun zone.
Yeah.
Now it's starting.
So you can actually do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you see it as well?
Yeah. Like, I think it's like once you can go down the line, that's kind of where I think a lot of the time it stops. So that's kind of where you have to look for a good coach, like you said, or watch videos and just like try to take in as much knowledge as you can to actually like do stuff on the wave and like utilize the wave.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So you heard it here as well. Everyone has kind of the same experience, because in a surf camp, for example, they pass the first week of, I can stand up on a whitewater.
Yeah.
Then they think this was surfing and now I can do it on my own. It's not. This is where the fun starts, because you have to read the waves, you have to analyze, you have to understand the crowd. Suddenly this feeling is a little bit different, catching a green, unbroken wave instead of a whitewater, and so on. And working with the right equipment. A lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's the most common, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When someone asks me what do you think is the most common mistake in surfing, it's choosing the wrong equipment. And I see it so often, because I think so many people think it's cool to have a short, like it's so cool to have a shorter board, and the shorter the board the better. And then they get out and like 1 meter waves or half a meter waves, and they're obviously struggling and not actually catching waves.
And you gliding with your longboard.
And
like,
I have a 9-foot board, and or whatever, even if you have like a 7.6 or a mid-length, or whatever, you're just gonna have so much more fun if you choose the right equipment for the conditions.
Yeah.
Rather than choosing what looks cool.
Yeah. But do you feel that what's I'm sometimes ask myself, like, we know it because of the experience and coach and blah blah blah, but what's causing that not knowing that? I mean, they obviously should know. If they would ask themselves, I don't catch any wave, but I have the feeling maybe it's Instagram or the competition surfers, which pushes only one direction, which is you have to go shorter, you have to go more high performance helium shit, and it's like, what? Or what do you think?
I think we're now coming back where longboarding is cool.
Yeah,
I think it's making a comeback.
And mid-length.
Yeah.
I have feeling this old
definitely
classic shapes.
It's making a come. I think where it used to be cool.
Yeah.
And then it was like obviously like the whole shortboard era where everyone was just ripping on high performance boards. And I think we're making a comeback now with the mid-lengths and the longboard. So it's looking good.
So we're gonna push it. Yeah. Because I also said to myself, obviously I was also shortboarding, but I have a classic fish. Like a thick classic, but it's also 5'9" short, but a classic round nose. I catch so many waves and smaller waves. I have a mid-length and I have a longboard, and I catch every time so many waves. And I wish that people also experience that feeling, because you can rip on a fish. I mean, fish was first there in history, and then the shortboard, like the normal thruster. But a lot of people just choose the wrong equipment. Maybe good for us, so we catch more waves. Yeah. But
it's just they don't have fun, and then they just like sit there, and I feel bad. Like, you could have so much more fun if you just had a bit more volume underneath you.
Do you have, maybe when we talk about shapes or equipment, or what was the funniest, just pops in my head, what was the funniest story you ever experienced or happened, something with surfing? Was there anything which pops in your mind?
Oh my god, I can't think of anything crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's so many moments. Oh, I know something that's really funny that I do. So whenever I fall in, and I do this every time, you can watch any video of me surfing.
You have a signature move?
Yes, I hold my nose like this.
Okay.
Which is so weird because I can swim under the water without holding my nose perfectly fine. But when I fall in, and it doesn't matter how unexpected it is, I'm always ready to hold my nose when I fall in.
What?
Yes.
This is not a proper head protection, guys.
No.
So.
Yeah, I'd rather hold my... So many times I had it when there's like lots of offshore, I fall in and then I hold my nose and I pop up and the board is like right next to me. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, okay. Unless your nose is protected.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, this is really a signature move?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we know. Now the
That's
whole
it.
world knows. No, but that's funny. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. This is your funny moment.
Yeah, every time.
So now we're gonna watch some videos from you. Maybe we get some. But was there something funny also what you see with other surfers? Like
I mean,
on
just
the
the
beach
classics, you know.
What's the
Just
classic?
the cook of the day stuff.
Okay, cool.
You know, the leash dragons.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I seen? I've seen someone put in the fin the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
That was really funny.
Was it a really like say expensive board?
No, I think it was like a
Or
long. It was actually a really nice longboard,
Mhm.
and I saw her put it in the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Did you say something? or
Well,
did
at first I didn't because I think like sometimes maybe she was just confused in the moment or whatever.
she had a bad day.
Yeah, and then she started to walk, and then I actually did say something because I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like
That's polite.
yeah.
Yeah. I also saw it once, like a whole thruster the wrong way in a beautiful new firewire board, and then I also thought like, should I say something?
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, by the way, you know that your fins are you. And the coolest thing, I was in my wetsuit already ready to enter the water, and then he was like, yeah. First he said like, I know, and then he said, you have a fin key? It's like, hey, I'm about to surf.
Yeah.
It was also hilarious. Or someone was here in El Palmar with a gun, like a surfboard gun, like for big waves. And I said like, and it was only hip high. Nah, there's some funny stuff. Back to surfing. So you have your retreats. Obviously, you have the books with the retreats, and it's a girls only one, right?
Yeah, it's only
Cool.
girls. Yeah.
Nice. Was there a certain decision of you, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's just I think there's a lot of surf camps out there that are obviously mixed, which is cool. It's like a really different experience. I think everything has its, appeals, but I think for me, I really wanted to create like a female community in surfing.
Cool.
So that's kind of where the idea stemmed from.
Nice.
Yeah, and also I was always thinking like, what am I looking for when I go surfing? And I don't actually have that many girlfriends that surf, especially in Lisbon. Like I don't know that many girls that are into surfing. So I just wanted to create a community where everyone's kind of like-minded, and if you come to these retreats, you're likely gonna have the same interests, and it's just nice to connect with like-minded women.
Cool. Yeah, I have the feeling it's going more and more, right? It's popping up more.
I think it's becoming a more girl sport now, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Why not?
Yeah.
Like when you enter the waters, the girls, suddenly the boys are stopping surfing. Which is good for me.
I wish they did.
Okay.
You can definitely get away with a bit more as a
Yeah.
girl.
I always say for fun in my theory lesson, a girl can drop in twice,
Yeah.
a man only once. Because you can always say like, oh, sorry, I didn't saw you.
I'll buy you a beer later.
You do that sometimes?
No. My sister's done it once where she accidentally hit a guy with a board like on his head. Not bad or anything, but it wasn't like super good. And he was like almost like too embarrassed to like admit that it hurt. He was like, oh, it's okay. She was
bleeding
like,
all over.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Not that bad. But then he was like, you can just buy me a beer later. And I was like, well, that's a good move.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
He's still in hospital recovering, but he has a beer.
Yeah. He got to go on a date.
Unbelievable. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I like about this podcast. It goes a bit off road here.
Yeah.
But we don't have a road. Do you have any questions? Is there anything you want to share with learning surfers? Like, I mean, you said already the biggest mistakes you see is equipment.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know reading the waves, which is, in my eyes, also a bit like the hardest way. Obviously, you have to know the sports, but usually you should get like a good coach who explains you also. There's a lot of theory behind, which we obviously cover also in the books, but coach is always necessary. We also say like the surf companions is nice to have, but obviously together with a coach, this is like the perfect combinations, like your own tips, your own experiences, plus the knowledge you get. But is there anything you want to share maybe with your learning curve in surfing, or what made the most progress in your surfing? Was it like the surf spot suddenly? Maybe you're more in the water. Was it that, or choosing the right equipment, or was there a certain point in your surfing when you look back? How many years you're surfing now?
3 years.
3 years. Like, was there something? Maybe it was. Did your sister surf before you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it was. Why did you start actually? That's a good question.
I came to Portugal during COVID.
Oh yeah.
And my sister was already surfing a bit at the time. So she'd always want to go surfing. So I kind of just went with.
Cool.
But actually, yeah, it's a good question, because I think the thing that's changed my surfing the most was having the right coach, was finding the right coach for you and that has the right approach. Because when I just started off surfing, I was a beginner and I was in Portugal and I didn't catch any waves and I was just sitting out in the lineup and my board was too small for me and I made all the common mistakes that beginners can make. And then one day I was holding on to the leash and the wave came and it ripped my finger. So I broke my finger really badly and it was all really traumatic. I had to like fly back to Germany, I had to get surgery, blah blah blah. Everything.
Which finger?
It was this one, the small one. And after that, I was kind of like really frustrated and done with surfing, which I think a lot of beginners come to that point where you're just at this like crossroad. It's like you don't see enough improvement where you're almost like doubting yourself, like, am I really made for this, or should I just leave it and do something else?
Had the moment when you had the finger.
After that, I was like, I'm obviously just not made for this. Like, I'm not cut out for this sport. Like, let's just leave it. I tried.
What made you go back into it?
So we went to Costa Rica and we went to Costa Rica for like 2 months. And I had a surf coach there who was amazing. And it was my first time back in the water after the accident. And I was so scared and I was like panicky and crying and I was like really, really scared and overwhelmed, obviously. And he just had such a calm and like wholesome approach to it. He was like, just breathe. And it was like that whole Pura Vida lifestyle that he brought into it, which was exactly what I needed in that moment. And yeah, he just really helped me to overcome my fear.
Cool.
And I think, that's definitely what was like the turning point for me, like having the right coach for what I needed at the time.
And since then, you just improved every little bit.
Yeah,
cool.
Since then it was really fun to see, especially like those early months.
And another question, because it's really fun to know when we stick with your surfing beginning time, what made you really like, wow, this is really cool. It's not only doing, my sister is doing it, but I really like this. Yeah. Was there certain moments, or?
I think I just always loved being in the water, being outside, and I've grown up doing windsurfing and I've always done some sort of sports. So surfing was like the most addictive one out of all of them. You just become like addicted. And I think especially like in the first years of surfing, you're like, it's almost like a drug, like you're hyper addicted to it because you really love seeing that improvement. That's what it was like for me. I just like became so competitive with myself that I really wanted to improve. Yeah. And I think that's what it was. That's what got me hooked in the beginning.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. You're still that competitive, or you?
No, I think it's like now I've reached, I think after 3 years, I've kind of reached the point where like it's a bit more chilled now. Like we were actually talking about this the other day. We used to be in the water at sunrise every day, and it was like that, like every single day at sunrise, and it was really like, you know, like military training almost. Cool. Whereas now it's more chilled. I'm just like, it's just a bit of fun.
As an ambassador, we are currently, our goal is 2025, we release the Longboard Companion, which is a totally different technique compared to the shortboarding, as you might know. And I'm looking really forward to that, because the Longboard Companion will be something special, something which is not there yet. Like you said, with the books, and we are together with a lot of longboard coaches. We get all the knowledge, so we hope, because all the ambassadors are part of the inside. We also have meetings live. Next meeting we're gonna have also about the Longboard Companion. If you join, you get more insights about this hanging 10 and the hanging 5 thingy, because there's a lot of technique to it. But once you understand the technique, which helped me a lot, suddenly it becomes so easy, because you first have to know it, then you can practice it. But a lot of surfers are just practicing something, and they think they do it the right way, but there is a right way and there's a wrong way, or there's a right way and there's a difficult way, let's say like this. Because cross-stepping when I learned cross stepping, I just did a cross step.
Me too. I just thought it looks good.
No.
I was like, we all do it. It just looks
Exactly.
good. And then after a while, someone was like, no, it actually has a purpose behind it.
Yeah, there's
And
a
it's
purpose,
like the click.
and there's an easier thing to do it. For example, if you stay lower in your knees, a lot of people when they do the step forward, they suddenly they don't stay straight in the upper body, so they lose their balance, and then they wonder, hey, why is the step not working, and so on. There's so many common mistakes. I even thought, it's like, hey, how many small techniques stuff is in longboarding? And since then I was hooked, because longboarding is really technical. But obviously follow Julia for her journey to the Hang 5. We can find you on Instagram, on YouTube, TikTok. Now. How do you call on? What's your name on
Jules
TikTok?
Cecilia everywhere.
Jules Cecilia. Cool, perfect. Obviously, all the links are down below.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions?
No, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it was
so fun.
Really easy talking.
Yeah.
And can't wait to see you in the next videos, guys. And if you're listening in the next episode, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And keep improving your surfing. Bye.
Bye.